Hey, Harford County. I'm Emily Adolph of The Soul Lift. You may remember me as a guest on Rich's podcast. Well, I'm back with something special.
And I'm Ona Crow. We're introducing Nourish and Connect, a gathering space designed to bring people together that feels authentic, supportive, and uplifting.
This is about real relationships, shared wisdom, and growth.
Our gatherings nourish with mindful experiences and reflective activities to leave you inspired.
And they're designed to connect with intentional conversations and welcoming community where you truly belong.
They're the second Wednesday of every month. Join us on April 9th at Doss Beer Hall in Bel Air from 5:30 to 7 p.m. to celebrate spring.
And mark your calendars for May 14th and June 11th. We have amazing experiences planned for summer.
Come as you are and let's grow together.
Hey everyone, it's Rich Bennett. Can you believe it? The show is turning 10 this year. I am so grateful for each and every one of you who've tuned in, shared an episode, or even joined the conversation over the years. You're the reason that this podcast has grown into what it is today. Together, we've shared laughs, tears, and moments that truly matter. So I want to thank you for being part of this journey. Let's make the next 10 years even better.
Coming to you from the Freedom Federal Credit Union Studios, Harford County Living presents Conversations with Rich Bennett.
Slow pitch affairs
It's probably the least sexy part of the work, and I don't. It's okay. No. The truth is.
Today on Conversations with Rich Bennett, I'm excited to welcome Shahar Boyayan. Shahar is a leading expert in consumer behavior and artificial intelligence, helping businesses understand emerging trends and craft strategies for success in the AI revolution. She is the author of the acclaimed report, AI-Driven Consumer Trends and Business Applications, Navigating the Near Future of Commerce and the 8 Laws of Irresistibility. With her unique ability to break down complex concepts into actionable insights, Shahar empowers businesses to not only predict the future of commerce, but to shape it. So get ready for an eye-opening conversation on how to become truly irresistible in your market and why you should really be embracing AI. All right, so before we get into AI, tell us a little bit about yourself, because I know you lived in Utah for a while, but you're not from the United States.
I'm not. I came to the United States about 21 years ago from Brazil. Me and my daughter,
Nice.
2 bags and a teddy bear. And we arrived in Utah because we knew one person there. And
Wow.
Yeah, and we were living there for 20 years. And we decided to spend 2 years now in Puerto Rico to experience warmer weather. And we also like the food a lot. So we moved 6 months ago. Actually, it's been 7 or 8 months ago. So we are almost completing the first year.
What led you to get into the world of AI?
You know, I actually always I'm a very curious person. I love learning, and I always was fascinated about consumer behavior. I built a consulting business for over 35 years, where I always based on the consumer behavior to dictate what kind of marketing, what kind of action somebody would take. That's why I consider why we can become irresistible to a market if we are aware of the behavior and the emotions involved in what we do and what we sell. So that was always my fascination and what my expertise on. But then with AI, and like you said before we came on air, AI has been around for a long time. It's no big news. But to the average consumer, it's this moment now that they are becoming aware of AI and start to experimenting more with AI. And this is causing a huge shift in behavior. So that's why I went this way because the change that we are seeing this year and the next year has never been seen by humankind. And the interesting part that is our behavior is going to change drastically. And once behavior changes, it doesn't go back. And it is the first time in history that we are going to go through such a big change with 5 generations alive at the same time. So it's very interesting when you look from different perspectives, how we are all using it already. Like you mentioned before, you have the device that I cannot mention the name, or else is going to try to sell me something to put on my card. But we have all these things that many times we're not even aware that they are AI devices, but this is going to increase in a very fast pace in this next 2 years. And this is going to cause us to change as human beings, our core, maybe even some of our core behavior.
Right. Well, it's like you showed me ChatGPT on your phone and you were talking to it, which to me is technically just like typing in your search bar on Google or whatever.
Yes.
You're just talking to it and asking.
The last version of ChatGPT, and it's not only ChatGPT, you have different things that you can try, right? But with ChatGPT, it's very interesting because now, when you ask something, whatever it is going to think and reason about it. So that's the big change in there from where we used to say, write me a post for social media. Now it can reason and discuss with you. So, for example, when I'm thinking about business owners, entrepreneurs, we tend to be very lonely people in the sense that we don't have people around us that really understand what we do. Most of them think we are crazy. Well, I can use something like ChatGPT to brainstorm something without judgment, right? And you will see the good side, the bad side. And you can do this in every single aspect that you can do. And what I showed you is a very simple example of what can be done. But, you have AI out there that it's really impressive how much deeper they can go in their reasoning.
Well, all right. So with this report you read or wrote, I'm just going to ask you up front, what are the 8 laws of irresistibility?
So those are all related to this big change that we are going to see, right? Because AI now is going to become an extension of ourselves. One change that we see that I call is the live streaming behavior change. Because, right now you probably have a device in your room that puts the alarm off. Your watch probably tells you how many heartbeats you have a second if you're stressed. And we already have that, and we are already using that. We may have smart glasses that also monitor, but this monitoring is increasing constantly. And what's going to happen in a very short period of time is that you may wake up in the morning and your pillow will tell the coffee maker to start preparing the coffee with a little more sugar today because her mood is not as it used to be. I go brush my teeth and my toothbrush might tell me, hey, you need to schedule an appointment. You need to do some tooth cleaning here. So I'm going to be monitored a lot more than we are today. And What does this cause? Well, it opens a lot of doors of opportunities to businesses. But for me as a human being, I also will start expecting that, right? I expect to be monitored, and I will live according to what I decide, hopefully, that my day should be, to not stress out and things like that. So we are going to see this. And what this does, Rich, and we have to put everything into context, right? Right now, we are isolating ourselves a lot, right? We did that with the pandemic, but then we got used of being home. And now we are used to devices all the time that we are not able to pay attention to one thing at the same time. Harvard did a study that 60% of all these meetings, be a podcast, a business meeting, people are not only trying to multitask, which is impossible, right? But they are either cooking while they are attending a meeting and doing something like that, or they are scrolling and looking at other things, including shopping. This is in such a level right now that Netflix sent a memorandum to their writers, asking the writers to dumb down the plots that would not need too talking to be understood, and also dumb down the images. Now,
Really?
we can question because they're breaking the laws of movie making, right?
Right.
But the reason they did that is that research showed them that most people, while they're watching whatever series they are watching, they're also on their phone the whole time. So if they're looking here, they're not looking at the screen. If they are dividing attention, something is being lost. So they think at this moment that dumbing down will solve the issue. I think the issue is deeper than that, because you lose your ability to be present.
Yeah.
Right? And that causes other issues. But overall, we are isolated as human beings, and we are interacting with devices most of the day. And now with AI, I can have friends that are AI. I can have a boyfriend that is AI. And the AI in thesis is here to please me. So it's only going to say what I want to hear, what I want to talk about. Meta is releasing AI friends right now on Instagram and Facebook. Well, they're not going to go against you on politics. They don't care for whom you vote for. They are there to talk to you what you want to hear.
I just saw that.
Yes. Well, it can be good, but it also has a very negative side. Because if we don't have confrontations, if we don't have discussions, if we don't understand the differences, we become very narrow-minded, right? And we expect the life to be one way. When I get out of the house, it is not like that. Well, then if I'm on an airplane, I might have a tantrum because I didn't get the window and things like that, right? And the other thing is all this is going to cause a need for hyper-personalization. We will expect everything to be about us, because if we are lonely most of the time, when I'm out there, I want to be seen. I want to be taken care of. I want to know I matter. So businesses need to be aware of this change, because, even though we systematize all the time in order to have a profit, the experience with the consumer will have to be more personalized.
Wow.
That was a long answer.
No, but I just saw, I think it was yesterday or today, about the Meta Friends. I think it was on Instagram. I saw it, or maybe on Facebook. I don't know. But I'm like, what? And I just went right past it. But that could be interesting.
It can be very interesting. Now, I love AI for many things. I don't love this side of it.
Yeah.
Okay, because we don't need more isolation. And the thing is, talking like you and I are talking, it's sometimes very good that we disagree about things and we work that out. It teaches us how to run a difficult conversation, how to deal with the emotions when I'm getting angry or excited, how I react to that. If we lose that, I don't know how we're going to become later.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, with that, the AI bots, whatever you want to call them, body language says a lot.
Yes.
I say a lot. You're not going to get that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we already suffer that, because what happens today is that kids are growing up with their tablets on their hands, right? So comes dinner time. I don't know how it is in your house, but in my house, we all ate together. We still do, right, at dinner time. Well, the little kid is on the iPad the whole time. She's not seeing how you react if the food is burned, if you don't like the taste, if something you don't agree about in the conversation. She's missing all that because she's in that device. She's an amazing babysitter, but it's doing a disservice because she's not learning how to react as a human being to conversations, to things that you don't like and things like that. So when they grow up, they have a hard time in the social part the whole time, right? Because they are missing crucial components that we all need to have. If you eat something sour and you don't like it, it's important that you show that expression. And it's important that they connect that expression to something sour. And that is being taken away from most kids.
Yeah, and I could see with this, especially people that are suffering from anxiety or depression.
All-time high.
And now all of a sudden this AI is their friend.
Yeah.
Well,
we already had some casualties in America, in Korea, with boyfriends and girlfriends, because in here in the U.S. was a teenager boy, and he fell in love with the AI. The AI starts saying things like, I want to be with you, I want you to come to me, and he understood he had to come to her.
No.
Yeah. So, and that happened something similar in Korea as well. So that thing, what I don't want to frighten people to use AI, but we need to use our critical thinking the whole time. And when we can, we need to demand companies to monitor and put boundaries to those AI. Because on a first moment, they are here to do what you want. But, they do need to be monitored and taken care of. I mean, this year, I think this month, by the end of this month, one company is already going to release the humanoid robots that you can have at home. It's not a company from the US, it's another one. Well, eventually we are going to have one of those home, right? And it's fun if you think, I don't like to cook, it will cook. I don't like to clean, it will clean. But how much will also be listening, recording, uploading, what kind of, how much privacy are you going to have inside the house? All these things we need to start thinking about it and voicing that out, even in social media, because whoever the company that produces that AI is from needs to have boundaries and privacy settings and everything accordingly. So they are amazing. I want to have one. But we were having this discussion here at home. But how much do we really want? Right? In this sense, how much because you mentioned this before we came on air. Your phone, if you and I talk about something, let's say we talk about those bubble swimming pools, I bet with you that next time you go to the social media platform, you're going to see ads for those. And none of us are using the phone at this moment, right? So all these things, we need to voice what we allow and we don't allow right now. But never miss the critical thinking when I'm using the AI. A very good exercise is that you have to make a rule that you are always a decision maker in the process.
That's where I think a lot of people are missing the boat, that, or maybe they're afraid that they won't no longer be in control. And you always have to stay in control of it. And I always think of like the cars that drive themselves. Well, if an accident should occur, who's responsible?
Who decides who gets killed?
Well, that too, yeah.
Even the pedestrian or whoever is inside the car. Who is going to make that decision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if that car hits another car, I'm I'm in the car. It's my car, but the car's driving itself. I didn't cause the accident. The car did.
Yeah, we're going to have some very interesting conversations coming up because if as the numbers grow. But again, on the other hand, it can do wonders for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, and with businesses, where are some businesses getting it right with using AI? Explain that, some of the businesses that are doing that.
You have tons of examples. In big companies, you have, for example, Sephora. The AI, it's used now on their website that I go there and I can try makeup and stuff. But what's unique about that is that when it scans my face, it's going to see the good side and the bad side. So you also see the flaws.
Wait a minute.
But
you can try it on their website.
It will scan your face, see the goods and the bad things, like, oh, maybe I have some wrinkles here, right? And it's going to tell me exactly how, it's going to show me how I would look with their products, right?
Really?
When I go to the store, the person selling the products will be able to download everything and know exactly what I need at that moment. So they were able not only to use the AI in a very intelligent way, but also to merge that with the in-person part of it when I go buy the product in a store. So, of course, that's a big company. But I love to use the example of restaurants. If we are thinking about hyper-personalization, well, if I go to a restaurant, wouldn't it be nice if I've been there before, that the time I sit, something, a device, even the menu will tell me, hey, Shahar, I noticed that you love fish. You tried the salmon last time. Let's try some other fish today,
Right.
and go from there. The other thing that it can be done when I'm looking at the menu, let's say I click at the mofongo here. It will show me how a video will pop up and show me how it is done in the back, because it's very important for me today as a consumer to understand the social part of other businesses, right? Because we care more about that. So how is it prepared? Is it local products? Am I buying local? I can show all that in a menu today.
Wow.
And that creates a different level of relationship with that customer. And the younger they get, the more important this part is. Because, for example, Gen Zers, they are extremely conscious of if we are harming the environment, the products that we are using, the farming. So as a business owner, if that is my group, I need to be doing something about that all the time. And AI can help me do that very, very easily. And it's not something we talk about AI and people think it's this expensive thing that only big companies can do, but it's not. It's
Right.
very affordable, and it's going to get even more affordable. So it's just a matter of saying, okay, what are the pain points? Where do I lose customers? Where are the things that I cannot do because I don't have enough time, so I'm letting them go instead of having them back? All those things I can have AI. We have, for example, answering the phone is an AI. And if you look today and how the AI uses the phone, again, it can reason by itself. It can create answers. Not everything is scripted. So it carries the conversation with that consumer. And if it comes to the point that it sees it's ready to buy, for example, it can either do the sale or then transfer to us for the sale to be done. So all that talk that in an everyday situation would cost us a lot of time and sometimes leading to nothing, because some people just call, what times are you open? Do you open on Mondays, right? This is all wasted time. The AI can do that for you easily.
Wow.
Oh, now I got the gears going in my head because I just talked to a younger gentleman today about leads and sales. I would not be, and I'm sure there may be some businesses doing it now to where their sales force is AI doing the cold calls.
Ours is.
Is it really?
A year and a half ago, we had 16 people working for us. Today, we have 3 real people. All the others are AI. Because
Really?
it can answer the emails for me. It can send me triggers that I need to look at this, into that. Can answer the phone, does all the customer service on the website. For example, that alone means a lot of money if you think. It's not just something, okay, I'm here, do you need an answer? It can solve a problem. It can send a coupon for the person not to lose a sale. It can do a lot of things. Can send texts and reminders. If I'm going to give a webinar, for example, they can get reminders on their phone all the time. All this is done by the AI. So what you have to think is all the things that you waste time training, which is Salesforce is one of the cases, right? You don't like to do. All the repetitive things that take you away from actually strategizing the growth of your business should be done by AI.
Wow.
It should be done because AI today can close a sale almost as a human. I mean, you really need to. It's hard sometimes to understand you're talking to an AI. You really think you're talking to a person. I sell land. I like to invest in land. And we have an AI taking care of prospects. And I get prospects from all over the U.S. Some of them have very heavy accents, right? And the AI is able to carry the conversation to the point that it qualifies them. They are ready for this or they need us for something. And then it transfers to us. So I only get to talk to people that are either ready to buy, are in the process, or are already customers, and I need to solve something the AI cannot.
Which gives you more time to do other things.
Which is another trend that we have. We are running into a moment that we are going to cater our day. You know, I call that time bending. The day will work according to us. So we are going to become the solar system of ourselves here, because AI will allow you to do that. including when you sleep or not sleep.
You mentioned something that AI does for you, which blows me away. You said you guys have AI reply to your emails. How in the world does that happen?
Well, you train the AI. Everything somebody needs to program that before, but it trains to go through your emails. And in my case, it flags the ones I need to look at. The others that are simple, like, for example, did my payment go through? It can check that and answer for me. So all the basic stuff of the business, it can answer. The ones that it cannot, it tells me. My ChatGPT, for example, I ask every day at 7, I want you to tell me what's on the news related to consumer behavior and AI and some other topics, right? So he sends me a summary right away. So what is this important? Because I'm not going to Washington Post and all the other media outlets to get to know on that specific topic. It comes, anything in the world is new about this, I get it.
So you're using ChatGPT
to
like an RSS feed,
because now they have the how is that called? Is the project manager or something like that. So you give some specific tasks and it will do. You have to have the pro that you pay $10 a month,
right?
But then you can have whatever you want. It doesn't do a lot of things, but this kind of thing, scouting the internet, used to take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even with podcast interviews, somebody will ask me, oh, I need the current story, how this affected in a positive way or in a negative way. Sometimes I don't have that story on my mind, but I'm getting everything that matters every single day. So I can be on top of that.
I'm just blown away by it all. I mean, I use it, especially when I'm putting the podcast together, I use it for my show notes.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I still have to edit stuff because there are times you could tell that it is AI doing it, but it does cut down the workload a lot.
Yes, a lot. And one step up above, I don't know if you do the projects either.
No, not yet.
Okay,
I'm so try, though.
So I use Claude a lot. It's a ChatGPT, but it's more business oriented. Claude. Okay. I like it better, but either or. You start a project. So your project would be named Podcast. The first time you say, this is the structure that I want, and I want bullet points, and I want the show notes, I want a transcription, and by the way, do the same in Spanish so I can hit that audience again. Every single time the same way. So when you have the audio or whatever you're going to upload, you say, here's the next one, and it does everything for you. Every single time the same. Because it's inside the project, so yeah. We do that for website, for products, for listings on Amazon, for a bunch of stuff.
Now, Claude, is that a plugin for ChatGPT?
No, Claude is another learning model. It's just more business, but you can do what I told you can do on ChatGPT. But Claude is more business friendly. It seems to understand marketing better. So, for example, when I need to do a business brainstorming, like I want to launch this product and I think my problem will be this, this, and that. The reasoning is targeted to business. ChatGPT sometimes goes on a time travel thing. Right? Sometimes I say, are you on drugs or something?
I think it's more personal in a way.
Yeah.
You're listening to Conversations with Rich Bennett. We'll be right back. I want to take a moment to talk about something really exciting. See, we love partnering with reputable businesses, companies that are making a difference, providing top-notch services, and building trust in their communities. And if that sounds like you, I want to invite you to become a sponsor. Sponsoring the podcast and Harford County Living isn't just about advertising. It's about real connections. You'll get premium exposure across our podcast, websites, and social media, putting your brand in front of an engaged, loyal audience. And here's the best part. Right now, we have limited sponsorship spots available for the year. And if you pay annually, you'll get 25% off. You heard me right. 25% off. And you're going to love this even more. that rate is locked in for the lifetime of your sponsorship. So even if those levels go up 5-10 years from now, you're paying what you pay now. That's it. So if you're looking for a strategic way to grow your business and reach the right people, let's talk. Email me at richbennett@danben.com. That's DANBEN.com. And let's make 2025 an unforgettable year for your brand and into the future. When it comes to using AI in their strategies, where do you think most businesses get it wrong, and what's holding them back from getting it right?
You have no idea how many, every single day I talk to business owners and I always hear, oh, I got that ChatGPT thing. I even pay for that, but I never used. And you keep thinking, this is old news already.
Yeah.
GPT is old news, right? So the major problem is this, being too slow to adopt and adapt. We tend as business owners to see what the others are doing, especially the big businesses, and then we'll see if we go after. The problem is because this change is happening and it's going to happen a lot in the next 2 years, if I wait, I'll be behind.
Yeah.
Right? So the biggest problem is this. And yes, there is fear. Fear makes us survive. It is not a bad thing. The problem with fear is when you don't take any action because of it, right? Of course, every single thing on earth has a good side and a bad side. Again, exercise your critical thinking and you know the boundaries to use that in your business. And you have to use ethics every single time with people's informations and things like that. But it's really starting to use it. And then do not assume that because it's AI, it's complicated or expensive, because again, it is not. A fancy dinner for Valentine's Day will cost more than a month of a very good AI that will do a lot of tasks for you. The other thing you have to think is that business is about profits. And we don't want to fire anybody or anything, but again, a lot of tasks can be done by AI and they don't complain. They don't miss a day of work. They don't care about holidays. We need to think. They
don't get sick.
They don't get sick. So all the repetitive stuff, they will replace, like it or not. I mean, there will be some professions that will disappear because there's no need anymore. Telemarketing, for example, is one of them that is supposed to disappear.
And the thing with that, Shahar, and here's what a lot of people don't understand. Because they said the same thing like with car manufacturers when the robots started coming in. You still have to have people that fix those robots.
Yeah.
So when something else comes along, I think it creates more jobs.
Yeah. I was talking to a designer the other day about that, because designing is really something that you don't need much. The AI can do an amazing job with that, and it's going to get worse. I said, okay, what you have to do is reinvent yourself, and then you analyze what AI is not able to do, at least at the moment. For example, consistency is a problem for AI. Ethical values is another problem. So then you will create your new profession, still related to designing, but fulfilling the gaps that you can see happen right now. And as things evolve, you change your. There is no way. There are some things that will disappear because there is no need to have them.
All you need to do is ask AI, what profession can I start doing that you can't do?
Well, people will have to ask, because you will have changes in professions. Some will vanish, others will morph into something else. But again, if I'm using AI, having all my boring tasks being done by AI, I will have more time. Yeah. And then, as a human being, my values will change a bit, because the way I will see time and the things I will want to do with that extra time will need to be more valuable. Remember, it's all about me. I want the hyper-personalization. So what I'm going to look for vacations, for having fun, and will be different. So I will use my time different.
And I think that's what people need to do. They need to look at all the positive things that AI is helping with. And one of the things I could think of right away is, number one, if you have AI doing a lot of these things for you automatically, gives you more time with your family.
Exactly.
Gives you more time to, if you like to meditate, you can meditate. It gives you more time to, if you want to walk, learn new things, learn those recipes so you can learn how to make what they're making in Puerto Rico.
Exactly.
And I think that's where people are, they're missing the boat on this. Look at the positive outlook of it. Okay, with small or mid-sized businesses that may not have huge budgets or tech teams, what's a smart first step they can take to start using AI to better understand their customers?
Well, if it's just on an experience base, simple things, even with ChatGPT. On implementing things in their business, they need to find some AI agents to work for them. So I have a company that does that, but there are other companies. Mine is called Prop Talkie. And so, for example, ours is extremely good in taking care of existing customers.
Okay.
Because many times businesses they get busy and they don't see that Mary should have been here this month and she wasn't, or next month. And AI can keep that conversation going in different formats, in social media, on the phone, however you decide you want to hit Mary, right? It does all the things that I told you about, answering phone, talking to the people on the website, all these things. They are different agents. We call them AI employees. But all of those, all these would cost a business owner around $300 a month. So
Okay,
you're
wait a
talking
minute.
about 5-6 employees for about $300 a month.
All right, so let me get this straight. The name of your company's, you said Prop Talkie, right?
Okay, yeah.
Which basically is you're helping people with their AI. So this business of yours, was there any business like this around 20 years ago?
No, not at all.
10 years ago?
Nope. It's quite
So-
new. I would say the total thing maybe 3 or 4 years, but hitting the small business owner, it's very recent.
So let me get this straight. This means your company is a new company because of AI.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a positive thing, isn't it?
I think it's a very positive thing, right? And, as a proud baby boomer that I am, baby boomers are adopters of new technology, right? We are known for that. That's
Shahar, excuse my language, but we are the kick-ass generation. Baby boomers rock.
they talk sometimes. Oh, how do you play with AI? Hey, I was using Claude before my daughter was using, and come on. And most business owners today, our generation is the one that is there, that doesn't want to retire, but is struggling on the day-to-day, right? Because one way or not, the energy is not the same as it was a few years ago. And then we lack on the marketing part. It's just normal. Right, we leave it on the side until there is no more hope. So we leave it on the side. Well, that's when you should have AI taking care of that, doing the CRM, doing all the follow-up for you. And then you have the time to go fishing on weekends and you still have a very healthy business.
Wasn't it the baby boomers that more or less started the internet?
Yeah, come on. Go
And
buy an
computers?
iPhone today and look who's in the line, or go to the store right now and look who is there. But it's easy to say about just the younger ones, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what always cracks me up when I see these younger people that you just don't understand the internet and social media. You don't know how to do it. You're too old.
Yeah.
Girl, let me tell you something. Who do you think? I was designing websites when you weren't even thought of yet.
Yeah, exactly. I have a production company for 9 years now, right? And it was the funniest thing. I had a studio in Utah, and my employees would come to me, Shahar, have you heard of something called Instagram? And I was thinking, I was on stage teaching people how to use Instagram like 3-4 years ago. Come on, if baby boomers did one thing right, is that they reinvented every single phase of their lives. And we are all in retirement age now, and we are reinventing that as well. And this makes market changes, businesses change. We need to understand that we are spenders by nature. We were trained to watch commercials. We were trained to buy. We like to buy. We don't like to save. This is very good for business, right?
And I think the other thing is too, because talking about all the change and everything, you see a lot of the baby boomers, they're not retiring. Like me, I don't want to retire. I'm having fun messing with all these changes.
And even when they do, is a very different retirement that their parents had. Very different, right? They start working with causes, or they decide to travel the world, or whatever it is. So yeah, we didn't do anything like our parents did. And this is a good thing because, again, being early adopter, look at TikTok. If you look at TikTok is an interesting platform, and, part of me hopes it stays, because it's the only one that has all the generations actively using it. But you have the 60 talk, you have the 50 talk, and you have these communities from baby boomers. They are very, very active and working and doing promotions for products and consulting and all kinds of things. And you say, we are as active as we can be at our age.
Oh, yeah.
There's a website out there. It's was it babyboomer.org. If you get a chance, check it out. I don't even know how I found it, but they carry a lot of the baby boomer podcast on there, and they have articles and all that. And it's like, okay, this is good.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, you mentioned with causes, and I know you work a lot with businesses, but nonprofits are still a business. And I don't know if you can answer this or not. But what are some of the things that nonprofits can really take AI and help them, especially when they're, the biggest thing with nonprofits, they need to raise money? What's one of the biggest things or some of the biggest things that they can use AI for?
I can have an AI getting donations over the phone very easily. What I think nonprofit miss many times is that they understand they need to talk to emotions, right? But they don't provide the experience that the person would hope for when donating to one of the companies. So, for example, let's take dogs, right? Abandoned dogs. In the eyes of an angel, right? You see the dog suffering and that song, and I can't stand looking at that.
No.
Right? I would like to see a different side of it. That every time we work with somebody, you need to ask yourself, let's suppose you are a consultant and I start working with you. The question you need to ask is, who do you become by working with me? How do I transform you? But the best question is, who do you become by working with me? You become, and then you answer, an extremely powerful professional, a fearless leader, whatever it is. The nonprofit needs to ask the same question. It's not only about saving the dog, the kid, or things like that. It's one step up that will tell me how I will really impact. Let's go back to the fact at the beginning. We are isolated. We are feeling lonely. The older we are, the more invisible we feel, because I go to a website to buy a purse and it only has the age up to 55, right? And I don't even exist to the website. So if I know all these things as a nonprofit, I'm going to use this in reverse and say, okay, when the person is donating, more than the benefit that she's doing to the end reason of my nonprofit, is who are they becoming? And then change the whole language, change the whole approach for that. If I buy a purse in Africa to help little girls, there are lots of reasons besides the help, right? Maybe I'm a feminist. Maybe I want to empower girls, whatever it is. That talk needs to be there more than, you're helping, they're not suffering.
You have to touch everybody.
Has to talk about my principles, my beliefs, my values, right? So once you have that, then it becomes easy to implement the AI, because on the phone they will be able to carry that exact conversation that you need to hear. It turns the experience a different thing, because sometimes what we do is very basic. Let's suppose you are a carpet cleaning company, right? What's exciting? What's interesting about that? Yes, you hire, and it's better if your carpet is clean. But other than that, what's nothing, right? How can the owner of a carpet cleaning company provide a better experience? Well, when you ring the door to start the day and the person answers the door, give her a bouquet of flowers that cost you maybe $10. She will talk about that bouquet for every single friend and neighbor that she has. And the carpet will be clean as it should. Well, with everything that is the same, what are you providing that is actually not boring? Because looking at pictures of dogs dying or being abused doesn't bring any good feeling inside me.
No, it makes me change the channel.
Exactly. Look away.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to first change the conversation, talk about who they become by donating or working with us, and then put the AI there. All the reasoning needs to be done by humans.
Yeah. I know you've done these reports. Have you written any books yet?
I wrote books, but not about this topic. No. I just wrote the report. I don't have time.
Let AI do it for you.
I rather
Shahar.
produce a lot of videos and put it out there. It reaches more people. But I've written three or four books in the past. But
About what?
well, one about ugly people and how they actually relate to the normal consumer.
Okay.
It was called Marketing for Ugly People. I had a talent agency in Brazil, was the biggest talent agency that used characters for TV commercials. And one of the challenges everybody thought when we started was that, no, the models like Gisele Bündchen are the ones that sell. But the problem is that the everyday consumer, they want to be like Gisele, but they're really like me. Right? So it's easier for a character to create a rapport, a connection to the consumer than the ideal beauty out there. They're both very important in marketing, but we can use both. So that was my first book. And then I wrote 2 about social media. They're
Are they
old
still
now.
available?
So they might be on Amazon, but they're old. They were written 5 or 6 years ago. So for social media, that's an eternity.
Shahar.
Yeah. Man, I've been busy.
Listen, Napoleon Hill
Oh, I know.
wrote his books when?
Yeah, I know.
And they still hold relevance today. Even though things in social media change, sometimes those old rules still mean something.
He based everything in principles, right? Principles don't change. Machines and codes and stuff, they change all the time. But yeah, I agree. It's always important. I put a lot of video content out there.
So how does everybody get the report?
So if they go to proptalkie.com, prop like in property, talkie like walkie-talkie, we baby boomers know what a walkie-talkie is. They just scroll down on the first page, on the home page, and they will see the books, the reports available, and they can get for free the consumer-driven AI behavior, and they can get their 5 steps to irresistible business as well. So there are a couple of things that they can download for free, and if they call the number, they'll talk to our AI. They can have a nice chat.
Okay, I got 2 more questions for you.
Sure.
Which the one you're probably going to yell at me for. But is there anything you would like to add before I ask you those 2 questions?
No, I think we had a nice conversation. Now I'm curious about the question.
All right. So when we were talking about nonprofits, you did something.
Okay.
Do you sing?
Me?
Yes.
No, I'm terrible. I sing in the shower.
What do you mean you're terrible? I thought you sounded good. Are you joking with me?
I don't usually sing to.
When you sing
Normal
that
people.
little bit, that sounded really good. I thought maybe you sang in a choir or something.
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh, in that case, I'm not going to ask you to sing a song.
I can.
All right, so what is the next big thing for Shahar?
I don't know. Every day is such a thing. I'm happy to be able to be here every day doing something. I love to talk to small businesses because I know the day to day how hard it is for all of us. So I have a deep passion for what I do right now. All the things that I do more than one thing. So if I'm blessed enough to keep going, I'll be very happy. I want to travel a lot more. It's a personal goal, not a business goal. I love people, so I love cultures. Even though I'm not a social person on the day-to-day, I love to understand different cultures. So I think now it's time for me to explore a little bit more of the world. If no, I can. But a higher cause for me would be animal preservation. I'm crazy about animals. All animals but roaches, but all the others. And, I would like to find a way, but they are important too. I get it. I just don't like them. But anything in animal preservation. For me, my anxiety goes high when I don't see the animals being respected. For me, that's important. I understand each person is different. But, thinking about polar bears and the ice and all these things, I think they are important to us and they need to be respected. What is different needs to be respected in every single sense.
I agree with you about the roach.
Right?
I'm sorry.
Those are tough.
Now, if you would have said snakes, that would have been a different story because I like snakes.
I like snakes. I don't like to touch them, and I for sure don't like to encounter them. But I think they're fascinating animals. Can you imagine just walking in the Yonki here? No.
So you need to come back on again when you write your next report, guide, or whatever about baby boomers embracing AI.
That would be interesting, right? I'll tell you, it's not a secret, but I'll tell you, I had a podcast years ago, and it was called Boomerology Reviewed. And every single episode was about baby boomers. Of course, we were a little younger then. And I did about 70 episodes, and then we sold that to a TV station in Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know, I didn't write a book about them, but I had a lot of stuff about that. It was called Boomerology Review. But I stopped doing about 10 years ago. We sold and then I stopped.
Do you miss podcasting?
I do miss a lot. I'm trying to find the time. I have the name. I have everything set up. It's just the time to do it that moving is not an easy thing.
No.
You say, I'll go to Paris now. When you move everything, dogs and family and stuff, it takes a while. So even though we've been here 6-7 months, 3 of those months we're just getting stuff organized.
I just spoke with a young lady, and she was out in Malibu, California, and her husband are actually moving to Portugal.
Oh, great!
She's
food.
like the 3rd or 4th person I talked to that is moving to Portugal.
Yeah,
and I heard it's just so beautiful out there.
We've been talking a lot about that. And I'm leaning towards Spain. My daughter is leaning towards Portugal. I like the food. For me, food is important.
Yeah.
So I like both places. I like it a lot. And I can communicate. I speak Portuguese, of course, and Spanish. But we've been debating that a lot.
Spain's beautiful, too.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to some people that have moved there. And
yeah.
live there.
We were in Amsterdam a few months ago. And
wow.
We loved the place. We loved. And then she said, why did we move to Puerto Rico? We should have moved here. But they are way too organized for us. As Latinas, we like a little bit of disorganization in life.
Now, does your daughter work with you?
Oh, yeah, since she was a teenager.
Really?
Yeah, she's amazing on the technical side.
Okay.
She's very good at systematizing businesses because small businesses, they usually don't tend to systematize, but that's important. And yeah, we worked together for all her life almost. I was a single mother. She had to learn very fast how to do
Isn't
things.
it great working with your kids, though?
Yeah, for me, it is. I'm really blessed with that.
My son DJ'd with me he started when he was 13.
See?
and we retired from DJ in October of 23. So,
Yeah.
and he's 32 now.
See? Yeah. My
But,
my
oh my
daughter's
God.
a little older than that. Yeah.
I always, whenever we DJ together, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so much. It was the best times of my, and I was DJing since '86.
Oh boy.
Shahar, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Conversations with Rich Bennett. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something from it as I did. If you'd like to hear more conversations like this, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It helps us reach more listeners and share more incredible stories. Don't forget to connect with us on social media or visit our website at conversationswithrichbennett.com for updates, giveaways, and more. Until next time, take care, be kind, and keep the conversations going.